In the era of CGI, nothing is impossible to recreate, while movies like Endiran, Aga and Bahubali showcase the best visual effects produced for any Indian film. Not many are aware that these films were animated in Nama, Bengaluru. What's more, even Hollywood films like Kung Fu Panda, Fast and Furious and the recent hit Jungle Book were completely animated in Nama city. So, what makes Bengaluru the next big 3D film city of India? News9 speaks to the best animation directors in the world to get the answers.
దెయ్యాలు భూతాలు ఉంటాయి చిన్న పిల్లల్ని పీకు తినేస్తాయి
You must have witnessed a breathtaking Bali. Your imagination would have traveled back in time with the movie Magadira. You must have been taken ahead in time with the movie Endiran. Whatever the movie, visual effects is one department no movie maker is willing to compromise on. So where do these filmmakers get animation done for their movies? Look no further, it is right here in Bengaluru. Yes, you heard it right. Not just Indian films, but even the best Hollywood films are animated in Namma city. And the trend is growing rapidly enough to give the city a new name. News9 speaks to the best animation directors in the world to find out the importance of animation in India.
They're understanding this is the career for the future, which I don't think any government is doing in India.
Why does Hollywood love to animate in the Silicon City?
Fast and Furious 7, Terminator Genesis, the Jungle Book, a significant portion of that work has been done in Bangalore.
How can Bengaluru become the next big 3D film city of our country?
A Bollywood movie would be so much fun. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it happen.
If you have pushed away animation as a hobby or a part-time career, News9 tells you why it can earn you money beyond imagination. It is the ABAIFest 2016. It is here that animators from all over the world come together to showcase, discuss and ideate some of the best animations in the world. The event is organized with the help of the government of Karnataka to help students of the country understand the animation industry, interact with top guns from the world of animation, and also witness how some of the best animated movies are made in top VFX studios. The organizer of the event tells us more.
Markets which you have in Cannes and the markets of other places, instead of having 5,000 people in Bangalore catching a flight and going there, we have brought the people who are the who's who, directors, art directors, creators, visual effects artists, everyone to Bangalore. We have Mark Osborne, who's directed Kung Fu Panda and The Little Prince. You know, we've got Avneet, who's come in presenting Zootopia. We've got the compositing and modeling heads of MPC. This is the second day of the worldwide release of Jungle Book. And they've had to get very, very special permission because the world has not seen the movie and they're showing you how the movie was made.
Hollywood loves to animate in Bengaluru.
you can't learn to run with the pack, one of these days you'll be someone's dinner.
The recently released Jungle Book took the world by storm and received rave reviews for its animation and visual effects. But not many are aware that the film was entirely animated in Bengaluru, and our city has become the go-to destination for Hollywood production houses.
I think the myth has to get broken. If you take the last 7 big movies that have come out globally, okay, a significant portion of that work has been done in Bangalore. Fast and Furious 7, Terminator Genesis, the Jungle Book. We are actually, as an industry now, compelled to work end to end for 2 very simple reasons. One is our local industry is growing.
Indian cinema has really come of age with movies like Bahubali, which redefined the way people watched an epic drama in our country. Though VFX have given filmmakers an edge in making their films successful, they still invest very less money on animation.
నేనెప్పుడు చూడని కళ్ళు నన్ను దేవుళ్ళ చూస్తున్నాయి.
Which does not put Indian films on par with Hollywood movies. Maybe that is why it would take a lot of time to see a movie like Avatar being created by an Indian production house.
Haven't gotten lost in the woods, have you? Did you forget what team you're playing for?
40 to 60% of the budget in a movie in India goes to the main talent. And 40%, the rest of the 40% is everything from location to shooting to visual effects to post-production to color correction to everything. That is very different in the international market. If you take the top 100 to 150 movies in the world, the largest single item of budget is visual effects.
Have Indian filmmakers realized the importance of VFX finally? To change that attitude among the people about animation, ABAIFest 2016 invited some of the best animation directors from all around the world. One of them was Prasad Suthar, who was responsible for the brilliant visual effects in the movie Bajirao Mastani. Prasad believes that with movies like Bahubali and Bajirao Mastani, film directors in India have realized the importance of VFX in their movies.
Primarily after these 2 films, I think Bahubali and Bajirao, a lot of directors, writers, producers are going to be there, write projects where they're ready to wait for say 2 years, 3 years of making of the film and then expect the results. Earlier that was not the case. So now they know, okay, if they put the money in the right place and have the content correct, films are definitely going to work.
Prasad, who addressed the students who visited ABAIFest, spoke to them about the difficulties while shooting Bajirao Mastani and explained the war scene in the movie, which was the toughest part of the film.
चीते की चाल, बाज की नजर और बाजीराव की तलवार पर संदेह नहीं करते। कभी भी मात दे सकती है।
योद्धा हूँ, ठोकर पत्थर से लगे तभी हाथ तलवार पर ही जाता है।
I think the war was the biggest. We shot in February, half of it. Unfortunately, Ranveer got injured while doing that. So we shot half of it around October stuff. The film was released in December. And it was around 10-12 minutes of the entire war, which we shot day and then made night, and CG army, then shot most of the primary characters close-ups in Bombay to match that with the live was the toughest part, I felt.
Prasad also went on to say that the animation industry is booming and students should consider learning animation as the entire world is looking to use animation in their lives in some form or the other.
When I started, no one looked at this as a career. So it took me a while to, in fact, explain my parents and the society around, okay, this can be a career. If that changes, I think we'll start seeing lot more people getting into it. And I think Bangalore has got it correct with this kind of, yeah.
At ABAIFest 2016 was also the man behind the stunning VFX of the movie Bahubali. P.C. Sanat, who was VFX supervisor for the film, said that he was so happy to be part of the film as it has made filmmakers take visual effects seriously, unleashing more jobs for animators.
Filmmaking is really about taking chances. You spend some amount of crores to thinking that you're going to get that results, correct? So now when you see some of these movies becoming successful, okay, they will take you more seriously. 10 years back when I tried to tell director you should do a pre-waste, nobody really think, correct? They think it is a time waste. Now when you say, they really start listening.
When asked about what the audience can expect from Bahubali 2, Sanat said that it would be bigger and better than the first movie, and the work on the movie is on full swing.
It was fantastic because we are trying to do something, change the way people look at Indian film. So till the result comes, you don't know, correct? So it is mind-blowing.
What do you expect from Bahubali 2?
It will be bigger than one.
It is not just Indians who are taking VFX seriously in India. Even some of the best Hollywood hands are setting up their VFX production houses in our country. On the other side of this short break, we meet Pete Draper from Hollywood, who has set up his own VFX production house in Hyderabad, and find out why he loves working on South Indian movies.
First one I did over here was Magadira, but the first one I did as a freelancer was Gajini, the Hindi one, where it flies through the brain at the beginning. So that was me. I did that in the UK. I got called on to do that, and that led to Magadira. From that we did Yeramaravu, one or two other Telugu features. We did Ega. The latest one is Bahubali.
Bahubali.
Yeah. So and we're currently working on the second film.
We also meet the man behind the blockbuster movie Hotel Transylvania 2 and understand what is the future of animation in the world.
From your brain.
I think animation is a perfect medium for that. I think we'll see a lot more animation, first in shorts, and then who knows, maybe a full feature done specifically that you're supposed to view in 360 degrees.
And if you've always wondered how to have a successful career in animation, then Mark Osborne, who animated Kung Fu Panda, shares his secrets.
Are they going to watch, or should I just wait until I get back to work or something?
Just hit it.
If all you try to do with your reel is get a job, then you're going to always be getting jobs. And if you can use this time as a student to find your voice as a filmmaker or find your path, that to me is like the most important thing you can do.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
ಸಾವಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮೀಟಾಗು ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಆಂಟಿ 1,05,800ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಯಾಕಲ್ಲ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ದ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಮನಿ ಆಪ್ ಸಾವಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಲಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬನನ್ನು ಆರಿಸಿ
AirAsia, lowest fares guaranteed sale is here. With fares starting from as low as 999 rupees. Hurry, book your flights on airasia.com. AirAsia, now everyone can fly.
Novosport. Do it all.
We are well aware that Indian filmmakers are more dependent than ever on VFX in their movies. But what you don't know is the invasion of Hollywood production houses in Bengaluru. So how does Hollywood plan to their pace to India? Take a look.
It has always been a common myth that Hollywood has distanced itself from the Indian film industry. But the fact is that most of the big production houses now want to step up their brand in India as they have realized the potential the Indian market has. Hollywood to move their base to India. Meet Pete Draper. Originally from Hollywood, Pete, for the last 6 years, has been working with the Tollywood film industry in Hyderabad. He loves working in India so much that he has even set up his own VFX production house in Hyderabad. He tells us the reasons.
The Hollywood studios have now come to realize that the market here does have that. I mean, you look at the past history of the country, it's full of art. A lot more content, artistic content, creative content is being done over here now.
Even though Pete is accustomed to working in the Indian film industry, he says that Hollywood is still skeptical to work with Indian production houses as VFX is not given its due respect. Pete says that an animation director is as important as a film director and creative freedom is very essential to produce great output.
Direct the artist as you would direct the talent. Emotion, empathy, action, reaction, so on and so on, timing. Direct them exactly the same and you'll get that performance. That's it, you just need to do that. And that's how we do it overseas. The directors which are gone from film into animation and back again, they direct the artists and the animators just as well and just as much as they would do with live action artists.
While a lot of people think that using VFX in a movie can be a costly affair, Pete believes that the use of VFX can actually reduce the overall cost of the film if pre-production is taken seriously. Pete believes that pre-production in Hollywood is the reason which sets the industry apart from the rest in the world.
The reason why we managed to get a nice polished product in the end was primarily because we spent absolutely ages in pre-production making sure that there was no wastage. So you spend a bit of money, you spend a bit of time in pre-production, and you're saving on set. You're saving in post.
Pete believes that Bengaluru can be the next big 3D film city if Sandalwood starts using more VFX in their films. He says that it all depends on how a local industry can create a market for the entire world to shift their base to the city for animation.
First hurdle is going to be with the local market. Get the guys here, the directors and the producers, to push the envelope, and from that the local industry itself will blossom. That's happened in Mumbai, that's happened in Hyderabad. You know, the overseas markets, the guys from the US and the UK sending work here, the VFX houses in Hyderabad and in Mumbai didn't start out by taking that work. They started out locally and have exploded since.
Animation is tougher than traditional cinema. Yes, you heard that right. If you don't believe in what we say, meet VFX production designer Michael Kurinsky. He was the man behind the beautiful visuals of Hotel Transylvania too, and says that animating a movie can be a much tougher experience than one can assume.
Vampire in the world!
Are we sure he's a vampire?
Technically, you have until you're 5 to get your vampire fangs.
Oh, he'll get his fangs. He's just like me. Look at him.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
Animation can be much more difficult than shooting live action, I think, because, well, think of what's involved. With an actor, you just have to find the actor and put him in front of a character or her in front of a character, and you shoot them. If you're saying an animated character, that character has to be designed, and then it has to be built in a computer, and textured, and lit.
We gotta teach this kid how to be a monster. Wow. If we get his fangs to come out, Mavis can't leave. Robbie, you okay out there?
The movie Hotel Transylvania was a big blockbuster, and the responsibility was given to Michael to come up with the second part of the film, keeping the emotions of the first film in mind. Michael spoke to News9 about his experience on working with the film.
We're so happy you came to visit.
I love California. 48 flavors. This place is open all night. Right, sir?
Yes.
I wasn't the principal designer of the first one, and it was so beautifully designed and crafted that I didn't want to, in my role, take away from that. What I did want to do, though, was make it feel fresh and new, but still familiar to the people who loved the first movie so much. So I was hoping that there would be story points and story moments that I could go, oh, I can change the look of the hotel, but it's driven by story, and in this case there was a wedding in this one, so we were able to transform a location that the viewers knew from the first movie, but they got to see it in a whole different way, decorated for a wedding.
The world of animation is growing rapidly with each passing day. Michael Kurinsky believes that virtual reality will soon merge with animation, which will pave way for more advanced virtual world.
I'm sure you hear a lot of talk about VR and virtual reality and Oculus Rift and all those things. I think animation is a perfect medium for that. I think we'll see a lot more animation, first in shorts, and then who knows, maybe a full feature done specifically that you're supposed to view in 360 degrees. I really believe that that is going to be something that we're going to see quite a bit of coming up.
How to be successful in the world of animation? There are plenty of students who want to make a career out of animation and are often confused whether it's going to pay well in the future. News9 met with Mark Osborne, who was the man behind Kung Fu Panda. Mark addressed a large gathering of students at the ABAIFest and advised students to stop creating show reels for a job and focus on bringing out their uniqueness in their work. Mark feels that getting a job is not why someone studies animation.
If all you try to do with your reel is get a job, then you're going to always be getting jobs. And if you can use this time as a student to find your voice as a filmmaker or find your path, that to me is like the most important thing you can do. So when I look at people's reels, I want to see who they are as an artist. And if I see somebody's reel and it looks like everybody else's reel, I don't know who they are, and it makes it harder for me to hire that person.
Well, it's all happening in the world of animation, and the industry is rapidly growing. With Indian filmmakers choosing VFX over live scenes, it is for sure that animation and VFX is here to stay. It is very evident that no filmmaker in the future would even think of making a film without VFX. The question is, will Bengaluru capitalize on the current trend and make it the 3D film city of India? Let's hope the revolution begins right here in Namma city. With camera person Devayan Sushil, Vivek Vinayak, News9, Bengaluru.